10 players was asked if we'd speak on Amir Khan. We have no idea why. There's nothing we can say about Khan you don't already know. But hey. What the fuck? It's always an honor to be asked for our perspective. So we'll give it to you. Now you already know Khan was so upset about being turned down by Mayweather, that he decided to turn down Kell Brook. Because he doesn't like all that turning down shit. So he turned down Kell Brook. Because he doesn't like that turning down stuff. Yeah. He felt disrespected by Mayweather, because he felt Mayweather made him wait, and think they might actually fight. You know. Like the way he made Kell Brook wait, and think they might actually fight. The only difference is that Mayweather never said definitely to Khan. Unlike the way Khan said definitely to Kell Brook.
Kell, do you think your paths are going to eventually cross, you and Amir's?
Yeah, I hope so for the fans.
It's a fight that the fans want to see, and I'm happy to take it. So well, let's get on, man. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely my fucking ass. So as you know, the boxing news all over was that Khan ducked Kell and turned down 5 million. No wait. It was 8 million. No 5 million. 8585. I don't know. He turned down a lot. Okay, enough of that shit. We've been seeing this all over the place. We know this is supposed to be boxing news, but since fans want to be promoters, managers, and accountants these days, we feel obligated to explain this for those unaware of it. Now we know a lot of you know this. But it's obvious that quite a few don't. But since this is the players' channel, every player must. And sometimes you've got to step outside boxing to understand boxing. Now we understand that some of you may feel this is just some really ugly ass fucking bitch. Or some freaky dude in drag. But it's actually the queen. If you don't know what she's the queen of, then nothing we say can help you. Now you may not think she looks all that hot and sexy, but apparently she thinks she does. Because her mug is all over the money in the UK. And this, known as pounds, which is their version of the dollar, makes the American dollar look like a fucking midget. Usually ranging around a little over 1.5 times what the American dollar's worth these days. You see, there's a reason we show this every time we show money in our videos. From racism in boxing, to the reply button. See, when the 10 players crew toured, we gambled all over, but saved the best for last. Before we returned home, we hit the UK and played our fucking asses off for 5 weeks. Shout out to the players in the UK too. Yeah. That's right. We said shout out. Now when we got back to the US, we made sure we kept a little of this around our homes. Why? Because US banks love it. So if you win 1,000 of their dollars out there, you have 1,500 plus when you get to the United States. If it's 10 grand, you have 15 grand. 10 million, you have 15 mil. 100 million, you have 150 plus million. You get the point. Why do we keep some in raw cash around? Because it can fluctuate. Like the stock market. Once you cash it in for American currency, it's done. If you have 100 quid, or pounds, then turn it in for 150 American dollars. Well, that $150 is what you have. But it's very possible the next week it could be worth twice as much. Unfortunately, you won't be able to get your $200 for your 100 pounds. Because you already cashed your shit in. And that's why Floyd would consider fighting in the UK for the right offer. So Khan's 5 million there, is 8 million here. That's for those who've been confused about how much he was actually offered. Now Khan's situation is a bit strange, but it's a situation he created. He doesn't conduct himself like an all-time great, so naturally he won't have the bargaining power of one. Yet in his mind he thinks he should be treated like one. Is there a psychiatrist available for this guy? You know why Muhammad Ali is considered great? He wanted to avenge his losses. Great fighters in their prime always did. And we said prime. Because we know some fans like to get stupid trying to prove they're smart. Coming out with dumb shit. Like naming a guy who didn't rematch someone who kicked his ass in his 200th fight when he was 50. But we're talking greats in their prime when they still had legs. Ali wanted Frazier. Robinson rematched LaMotta. And more than twice. Then Turpin and guys like Fulmer and Basilio. It took over 140 fights before he stopped rematching every loss, and even then there were still those he rematched. Leonard wanted Duran. The same way Joe wanted Max. Even though he already had the title and was the fucking heavyweight champion of the world. So he could have claimed Max was nobody. Like Khan's fans claim Prescott is. But he remembered that loss, and used his title as leverage to get Max back in the fucking ring to wax that ass and avenge his loss to him. Letting the world know he was really the champ. No bullshit about it was the point. To be hailed as the true king, and not a fake act. That was back when fighters were men. They knew being men, and the power of that came first. Like having a magic wand. It was the power of their soul, and they wouldn't sell it for no one. That's why they could walk in parks and gather thousands. Which your rich boys can't do today. They sold that soul power for money. So your fighters can't gather shit in the park today. Because they don't have the soul power. They sold it? Sure, fighters want to make money. But you need balance between that, keeping your soul, and being a man. That's why Frazier fought Foreman and Ali again, and was respected even though he lost. Lennox Lewis wouldn't have the respect he does if he let his defeats go. And if you beat B-Hop, bet your ass he wants a rematch. Even at his age. He couldn't get Roy out his mind for years. And even though that stupid rematch he had 100 years later didn't mean jack shit. He needed it for his soul's journey. He wanted this guy again too, even mentioned him non-stop. But not Khan. He doesn't even consider it. He wanted no part of Prescott. And Khan fans would say the dumbest shit. Like, why should he fight Prescott? Prescott just wants a payday. Prescott's a joke. Prescott ain't shit. Prescott's nobody. Well, nobody whipped your fucking ass. Let's just hope nobody ever rapes Khan's wife. It'll be good news for the rapist, but bad news for his wife. Because Khan will let it go. Claiming he's not pressing charges because the rapist was nobody. So you women and guys with daughters better teach them to defend themselves, in case they ever hook up with a guy like Khan. Yet Khan feels he deserves Mayweather. Like it's some divine birthright, and he's being cheated. But the question fight fans are really asking is, why did Khan turn down so much money? Well, 10 players sent out some reporters recently to finally get the truth. And we got it.
Hello Amir. 10 Players News. You said Kell Brook wasn't on your level. But why turn down so much money?
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, tell us.
Over here, Amir. 10 Players News as well. Have you ever been offered that much money before for a fight?
Khan. 10 Players News here also. We saw the interview with you and Kell Brook, where you said definitely, let's get it on. What changed since then? Yeah, what changed?
We want to know.
Khan, over here. Obama. I work for 10 Players too. I'm just hoping they'll let me be a part of their crew. Those motherfuckers tell like it is. And we just want to know, why won't you fight Kell Brook? Because that's a lot of fucking money you're throwing away.
Yeah, Khan. We want to know.
True.
Yeah, Khan.
Tell us. Why not just
Why
fight
won't
him?
you fight Kell Brook?
You acted like he
It's
was
a
a
lot of
bitch.
money to turn down.
Now
We
you
want to see a
fight him.
fucking
Why
fight.
not?
I'm afraid! Alright? You wanna hear me say it? You wanna break me down? Alright, I'm afraid!